Up next, we're going to go back to our Saddle Up Again series here. We have a presenter from 2019 in our rodeo. Her name's Molly Meyer. She founded Omni Ecosystems here in Chicago, and I'll let her talk.
Well, hi, Molly. Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy to have you here at the rodeo this year, be it virtually, but glad to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a treat.
Yeah, this is awesome. Well, you were with us in 2019 in person, and we were at our old venue then, and you talked about pushing landscapes forward to being performance-based. You were one of the most popular speakers we've had, and thought we'd reach out and see what you've been up to since then.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, things have been really exciting. This green roof behind me, our offices, has been built since I last saw you. Um, but yeah, lots happened at Omni. We've changed a lot and evolved. We're no longer a vertically integrated company, and we're no longer bundling our soils with other products in systems. So we're now we were offering green infrastructure materials within packaged systems and services like design, construction, maintenance. But in 2022 through 2024, we restructured. We divested of our construction and maintenance businesses. We discontinued complete systems, and we sold our landscape architecture studio. The Omni workshop. And really, this year, we've started getting our sole focus back to our roots, soil science. So we provide only our advanced growth media now, just that product called Omni Infinity. And it's applied in all sorts of applications, green roofs, which is what we're most known for, but also rain gardens on contaminated sites. And it can be used now as a part of other assemblies, like the roofing manufacturer American Hydrotech. They now put our soils in some of their garden roof assemblies and offer their single source warranty. So the theme, I guess, to all of this is that we've simplified and focused and really leaned into our unique strengths around soil ecosystems.
I love it that your roots are in the soil. It's so fitting.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's kind of stayed the same? You've had a lot of changes.
yeah, a lot of changes, absolutely. But our vision remains the same. It's to democratize nature. Um, Before I started Omni back in 2006, I actually wrote an application to get a fellowship to work in the German green roof industry. And I wanted to bring back the cost saving technologies and techniques that they developed in the 80s and 90s to make green roofing more accessible in the US. And, um, I wrote this application essay that said I wanted to democratize the green roof. And I was reading a lot of heady biographies and such at the time, and I cribbed that term from Henry Ford, who said that he wanted to democratize the automobile. That is to make a luxury good and its benefits easy, reliable, independent transportation available to the masses, not just the wealthy. And and that's really the through line for us is we've been trying to make nature available to all. And while originally we were just focused on green roofs, really it is about nature, democratizing nature. And the key motivator for us is about delivering solutions across the triple bottom line. So we want to scale up green infrastructure and spread its benefits. And so we really are keyed into and have been this whole time about demonstrating the environmental performance and the financial benefits to adopting this.
That takes me back to something you said back in 2019 about green roofs, and you talked about a project you'd done with Perkins and Will, and you were looking at all the green roofs in Chicago and what kind of uh, you know potential the rest of the city had. And it's really cool to hear how now you're going beyond just looking at getting just the green roofs out there, but just more everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. More everywhere. That sounds very hungry. But, one of the projects that we talked about back then was the Morton Salt site. That's what we called it then. Now it's called the Salt Shed. But basically, the soil porosity being The lowest testing we've ever had is 77%. So that means that at a minimum, we're able to deliver 3 times the stormwater control volume than other soils. So on the salt shed, that meant that the bioinfiltration facilities were able to achieve 100% of the city's stormwater requirements, and they were able to completely avoid gray infrastructure. And that meant no digging out for big, underground cisterns or vaults, and that meant no hauling of contaminated soil off-site. So the environmental budget went from very high to near nothing. The civil budget went down. The landscape budget went up, but net across the three, there was more than a 7-figure saving on the projects by using green infrastructure. And so this project was actually awarded a few years ago, MWRD's Most Sustainable Landscape in Chicago Award. And, thousands of concert goers now attend that venue every year and have no idea that they're on, such a remarkable green space. It's really on the cutting edge of what we can do with green infrastructure.
I guess that makes me think of the question, does the soil react to spilled beer differently than water?
It does appreciate the beer better. Yeah, the yeast help other plants grow.
That's great. Yeah, well, that's a really fascinating project, and it's really cool how the city changed some of their permitting policies around that product. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, it was really cool to hear you back in 2019. I love hearing what you've been doing since. Now, when we invite you back for the 2030 rodeo, what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, that's great. I'll expect that invite in the mail anytime soon. I'll hold the date. But, I think there's a few things. One, I think that this technology and approach is going to be more commonly known. It's still relatively novel, and we're having conversations with civil engineers and stormwater experts, authorities having jurisdiction every day, just like really educating right now. And I hope that this becomes a tool in their toolbox that they're really familiar with. And so that would be like taking what we've now had large proof of concepts on and getting it widely adopted. We also have some research that's in the early stages that I want to see get to proof of concept in 5 years. So because we've been able to focus on our soils, we've been doing a lot more very interesting testing, and we now have species level DNA test results back on our microbial activity. And we've found that we're delivering shelf stable more than 1,500 microbes at delivery. They're persisting, and by more than 88%. They're almost doubling in 4 years. So this is incredible. At the species level, we're able to look at what are these species known to do, and we're finding peer-reviewed literature that says these species are great at degrading hydrocarbons, PFAS, microplastics, pesticides. So what we're really pumped about now is actually using our product for biodegradation and environmental remediation.
That's really incredible. That's exciting to hear, because who knew soil had so much ecosystem in it. I think most of the people that we're talking to right now had no idea this is all going on with dirt.
Yeah. And here in their backyard, right in Chicago.
Well, Molly Meyer, thank you so much for coming back, and we look forward to seeing you in 2030.
Can't wait. Thanks a million, Ben.
All right, thank you.